Hi, I'm Diva from Musical Hell, and I know the score. So you probably know by now that Sinners was kind of the surprise success of 2025, toppling the Minecraft movie from the top of the box office charts on its opening weekend and riding huge word-of-mouth publicity to a total gross of 368 million and change. Ryan Coogler's genre-bending Southern Gothic tale of vampires, race relations, and the power of music, more or less in that order, came in 7th in the year's box office take, the only film among the top 10 that wasn't some kind of sequel, remake, or franchise installment. It's definitely one of my favorite films of the year, and I've wanted to talk about it for a while now, but the timing never seemed right. But now that Sinners has broken Oscar records with a whopping 16 nominations, there's no time like the present. So let's talk about how two musical numbers summarize the whole of the movie's themes, main characters, and social dynamics. While I personally wouldn't call Sinners a musical, the songs are too few and more ornament the storytelling rather than drive it, music is definitely an important part of the plot, centering around twin brothers building a juke joint in their home community, their cousin whose way with the blues has magical properties, and the lurking evil that wants that magic for himself. The movie begins by telling us of musicians whose art can transcend death and time, bringing forth spirits both past and future. When Sammy performs at the juke joint, this idea becomes literal in one of the most stunning cinematic sequences in recent memory. Presented in a magnificent one-shot, actually filmed in 3 segments due to the limitations of the IMAX format, the scene is a vibrant celebration of black music and dance, from African tribal traditions to funk to hip-hop and much more. 90s-era pop and lock dancers share the floor with an Alvin Ailey ballerina and Peking opera performers, a nod to the Chinese-American grocers allied with the main characters. The entire sequence exudes diversity, liberation, and life, a sense of connection with the community, but also of individualized experiences.
Somebody take me in your eyes.
But the power of Sammy's music draws Remick, a vampire who covets his ability to summon ancestral spirits to reconnect with his own people. Remick is no slouch of a musician himself, as he prepares for battle by leading his newly turned thralls in a creepy yet rousing rendition of Rocky Road to Dublin.
Well, in the merry month of May, from me home I started, left the girls of June were nearly broken hearted.
Remick being Irish is not a random choice. Coogler has pointed out the similarities in Irish and African histories in dealing with prejudice and imperial oppression. And those similarities are present in the song selections for these two scenes. Sammy's song, I Lied to You, tells the story of the tension between his love for blues music, rooted in traditions enslaved Africans brought with them, and his relationship with his father, a Christian preacher.
Blues wasn't forced on us like that religion. No, sir. We brought this with us from home.
Rocky Road to Dublin, likewise, is a folk song of a man's journey from his home in rural Ireland, first to the city of Dublin and then to Wales and England, encountering contempt for his class and nationality everywhere he goes.
The boys of Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, me blood began to boil, me temper I was losing, poor old Lairdens Isle, they began abuse.
Under the circumstances, it's not surprising that Remick feels an attraction, even a kind of kinship, with this southern black community. But that attraction is expressed in, to put it mildly, a very toxic fashion. The vampires and sinners have often been described as a metaphor for cultural appropriation or assimilation, forcing others to absorb into a collective rather than retain their individuality, which is more or less what happened to Irish immigrants in America, seen first as despised outcasts before being accepted into the fold of whiteness, turning them against the non-white communities with which they had so much in common. And, effectively, that's what happens when Remick starts turning all the other characters into vampires. Talk about perpetuating the cycle of oppression.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
This distorted view of community is very evident in how the Rocky Road to Dublin scene contrasts with I Lied to You. When Sammy performs, he's not the focus of the scene. It's the people he connects with, both flesh and spirit, that the camera follows. Everything is bathed in this kind of warm glow, bursting into flame as the music literally burns the house down. Remick's scene is entirely dark and entirely focused on him. There are glimpses of his vampire brood, and while they are definitely getting into it, everything revolves around their master as they perform a circle dance with him at the center. This is a performance orchestrated by him and for him alone, highlighting the selfishness and greed that lurks behind his professions of unity and longing for family. I would definitely love to see Ryan Coogler direct a full musical at some point. He definitely has the right knack for pacing and visual storytelling that would serve the genre well. Anyone want to see if he'd like to take a crack at Ragtime? I'm Diva, I know the score, and now, so do you.